Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome, you fine folks. How's it going? This is Awesome Will here. I hope that you are delighted. I am feeling amazing. I am thankful and most grateful for another day for sure. And it hasn't been such a pleasant one. I hope that you have had an amazing day, a marvelous day as well. What I wanted to do was I wanted to come back on. I was sliding by, so I decided I'd slide on in and drop another live on you. I hope that you enjoyed the previous live that, I created for you and produced for you. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and also share this content. If you have anything that you would like to share, any of your thoughts, it'll be greatly appreciated. And everything that you mention, there will be a response, rather it be in the comment section, rather it be by email, etc. Your love and your support is greatly appreciated as always. You dig? So, what I'd like to talk to you about tonight, this is part two of Every Man She Knew Left Her, but the baby they gave her stayed. Every man she knew left her, but the baby stayed, or the baby they gave her stayed. And I'm going to give you an example of exactly what it is I'm talking about. I'm going to specify exactly what it is I'm talking about. You probably already have a hunch as into what it is exactly, or what it is I could possibly be talking about. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to dissect it, and I'm going to spoon feed it to you so you'll have a better enlightenment or a better understanding of exactly what it is I am mentioning to you, or the topic of discussion. Once again, I really appreciate your engagement. I really appreciate your support. And, we're going to get right on into it. Okay. Every man she knew left her, but the baby they gave her stayed. Now, what we just to give you a brief summary of some of the things, or some of the things that we spoke about, or that I spoke about last week, just to bring you up to speed. If you missed it, feel more than welcome, more than free. You are more than welcome and more than free to go back to the previous live, just so you'll have a broader idea of what it is we're discussing tonight. But I'm going to also give you a brief summary as well, so you can go back and take a look for yourself. Okay. What we spoke about last week, right? Or, well, this week, I'm sorry. The myth of Lilith, the first abandoned woman. Enheduanna, Enheduanna, the priestess who lost everything. Those are just some of the things that we spoke about. And like I said, you can go back to the live as a reference to what I'm speaking to you as of right now. If you so desire to, I encourage you to do so, because it's a very interesting topic. And it is definitely something that, you would, or you will, or that you are, futuristically speaking, going to appreciate. So we're going to continue on from last week. Like I said, this is a couple of nights ago. This is part two of what we discussed a couple of nights ago. Now, tonight, we're going to be talking about mothers left to elect their sons king, and why. Mothers left to elect their sons king, and why. Overall trends in single parent households, racial breakdown of single parent households. We're going to be discussing factors contributing to racial disparities. And we're going back right now to continue on, or to be continued, with the discussion of abandoned and forgotten women in ancient history who faced abandonment issues. Okay. Now, the legacy of abandoned women in history. Abandonment has been a recurring theme in ancient civilizations. affecting women across different regions and cultures. Whether they were queens, priestesses, warriors, or commoners, their stories remind us of a silent struggles or the silent struggles women endured long before history. Today, these stories still resonate. Abandonment issues, exile, and loss are timeless themes, shaping the way women have fought for survival, dignity, and recognition throughout history. By exploring these ancient narratives, we honor the resilience of forgotten women, those who refused to despair or to disappear, even when the world tried to erase them. Now, my question to you is, what do you think? Do you know of any other historical women who faced abandonment? I'd like to know down in the comments below. Please share your thoughts, right? Now, that was just to finish up where we had started regarding abandoned women in ancient history, abandoned and forgotten women in ancient history who have faced or who faced abandonment issues. Now, this has been an ongoing behavior, as you can see, even before the Bible. It speaks of Lilith and several other women that faced abandonment issues due to what they believed, right? And one of the women in particular was the very first poet and writer receiving recognition, or it's been recorded that she was the very first poet or writer in history. Most of these women were rebellious, which is why they were exiled or even killed or, you know, um, left in what you would call or be left in a state of what you would call the what we call a wilderness state, having absolutely nothing, having no recognition for anything, uh, having no more leverage, uh, being silenced and being brought to a place of despair or in a situation that they would be in what you would call despair or desperation, in need of the necessary assistance or guidance from humanity, a world that is controlled by men because it's a man's world, right? But however, after so many years, whatever happened during that stage in life that they were faced with such trying times and turmoil, eventually, after so many years of this phase of what we call, once again, the wilderness state, they were then restored, maybe because they had a change of heart or even a transformed or a transformation of their mindset to occur during that period or during that stage within their life, right? But during that phase, rather it was a small phase or short phase or an even longer phase, emotionally, they were affected by the outcome of the experience in itself because they feel, by them being cast away, they felt deep within, or they felt, or they even knew that it created an issue regarding their emotions because women are very emotional. And it's something that I, being the gentleman that I am, I, being the man that I am, is something that I appreciate. Although all of those emotions aren't good. But see, I'm the kind of guy to get her on track. See? Because it's a rocky mountain. With a woman, it's a rocky mountain. But there's nothing that I can't resolve. If it's beyond repair, that's different. But I'm always encouraged to better analyze what could possibly be going on within the mind of that woman, especially if it's someone that you desire or someone that you would like to have some form of communication with or with or some form of a bond or etc. But abandonment issues are what we are currently discussing. And a lot of the traumas that happens to women, even while young, is why they have the traumatization of the situation or the past or previous situations is the root cause of them having these problems or issues, right? Now, let's talk about the single mother. Many of us, because I don't have children at this time, right? At least any that I don't know about or any that I know of, right? To my knowledge, I have no children. But I, being an individual with an open mind, single mothers and the relationships in which some of them have with their son or their sons or these young boys, these young princes, sometimes it can be an understandable behavior or a mysterious behavior or even the relationship between the mother and child. And it can only make one ponder what exactly is going on between this child and the parent or the mother. She isn't conducting herself in a fashion that a mother would. She's hugged all up in pictures on Instagram with the child, poses with the child as if there's some kind of couple, etc. Now, why is that? It's deeper than the eye meets. It's deeper than what you and I can physically see. And we're going to get into it, right? We're going to get into it. Now, single parent households in America have been a significant demographic trend with racial disparities playing a notable role in their prevalence, right? Now, the overall trends in single parent households. What is the trend? I have some data for you. As of recent data, about 23% of US children live in single parent households, one of the highest rates in the world. The majority of these households are led by single mothers, though single father households have also grown in number. Racial breakdown of single parent households, the black family. Black family, black families. The highest rate of single parent households is among black Americans. Around 65 to 70% of black children live with a single parent, predominantly their mother. Hispanic families, about 40 to 45% of Hispanic children are raised in single parent households. White families, the rate among white families is 25 to 30%, significantly lower than black and Hispanic households, but still notable. Asian families, the lowest rate of single parent households is among Asian Americans at around 10 to 15%. Now, the contributing factors. Factors contributing to racial disparities, historical and structural factors. This is a huge one. Number one, mass incarceration. Policies such as the war on drugs disproportionate or disproportionately affected black men, increasing the number of single parent black households. Economic disparities, racial wealth gaps, employment discrimination, and lower access to higher paying jobs impact what? Family stability. All right. Another one, cultural and social dynamics, family structures and community support. Where did it all go? Where did it all go? Family structures and community support, right? Some cultures emphasize extended family networks that may lessen the impact of single parenthood. There was such a strong support group, even during the times that I was coming up, right? Now, some of the activities that I engaged in at that moment, my parents didn't really know, right? They had a hunch until, one day the activity that I did engage in was revealed. My father saw it with his own two eyes, right? Now, when I speak of community support, there was a time that I would be out on those blocks, I would be out on those corners, I'd be skipping school, doing what I ain't supposed to be doing, calling myself hustling, running the cars, you know what I mean? As a street pharmacist, right? Young man, young teenager, want his own money, you know what I mean? Want to do things his way, you know? My father told me, now, if you going to be living in this household, and he told me straight up, he said, man, you got a criminal mind. He said, man, you got a prison mind. He said, boy, you out there running the car, you out there selling drugs. He said, I'm going to tell you something. You ain't going to be selling no drugs here. You going to take your behind to school or you going to get a job. But selling drugs, living under my roof, you can forget about it, right? Now, me being a teenager or being the young boy that I was, I didn't give a darn what dad was saying. I did because I was afraid of him. True indeed. So what do? I go on the back street. I go a couple of blocks over. You know what I mean? Where I can't be seen. Right? I'm on a whole nother block now. Rather they going or coming, they'll never see me over here on this side of the neighborhood. Right? And even then, the pressure was applied because there was community support. Guys that knew me and knew my sister from a place called Lauderdale Manors Park. We call it the Manors in Fort Lauderdale. Back in the day, Miss K and a couple of the other people, the people from the staff at the park, you know, there was a couple of other guys, that used to go to our school, or they'll be riding by from the neighborhood. They just in the neighborhood. They were a little older than us. They were in the neighborhood, riding by on the bicycle early in the morning, waiting for us to get on to the bus stop. Now, this very guy, waiting for us to get onto the bus. I'm sorry, but this very guy, years later, I became older, and so did he. And it was just a fascinating coincidence because we knew one another, and he was doing what he was doing, handling his business in my neighborhood where I lived. And he had family that lived in that particular neighborhood as well. And he knew me from when I was a young kid. He was about 7, 8 years older than I was, but he knew me from when I was a kid in kindergarten, getting on the school bus, you know. And he was a young man, or young man or a young teenager. He was a little older than I was, or a little older than we were. But like I said, coming back to community support, one day, and I mean, this is every day for me. This became a lifestyle for me. You know, I decide, well, hey man, this is the life for me. But like I said, key point, community support. Now, I'm out there doing what I'm doing. I'm hustling. I'm getting my money. I'm reading up. I'm doing whatever it is I need to do to better establish myself, to drive the way I want to eat the way I want, to live the way I want. You know, that's what I was focused on, right? From young. And this very guy that I knew from when I was a kid, he was out there in the same area hustling the same way I was. But I lived there. And he told me, he said, man, he said, I don't know what you call yourself doing, little bro, but you can't be running out here with us. He said, you ain't gonna be running out here with us. And I looked at him. I'm like, man, my dad at work, man. You know what I'm saying? My dad at work. You know what I'm saying? You ain't my pops. You know what I'm saying? You don't tell me what want to be grown. You know what I'm saying? Man, you don't tell me what to do, man. You know what I'm saying? My old boy ain't home. You know what I'm saying? You don't tell me what to do. I bowled up. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the kind of environment it is. I want to be bad, and you know what I'm saying. And he said, man, you need to go to school, man. You need to do this and need why community support. But guess what though? What he said, he meant it. What he said, he meant it. He said, you ain't gonna sell, you ain't gonna make not one more sale over here. You ain't gonna be running, you ain't gonna be running out here with me. I know your family, man. I know your people, bro. You know what I'm saying? I know your sister. You know what I mean? Your sister ain't like that, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't come from no family like that. You ain't finna be out here with me running, man. Because he felt that he was responsible for me because he knew what kind of family I came from. That I didn't even really have to do that, but I felt the need to do it because it was what I wanted to do, right? And that was a form of community support. But he made good on his promise because just like he told me, I couldn't make none move. He baller blocked me to the point where I had to relocate and go to another, I had to find another street because they wasn't gonna let me make no money over there. And I was one of the youngest of a couple of other young dudes out there. You know what I mean? So I had to reformulate a plan and a strategy to see where I'm gonna get my bread. Cause they put the barricades up on me. You know, you ain't gonna make no money out here. You ain't gonna move nothing, man. Not while I'm out here. And guess what I did? I was talking trash all the way down the road, going somewhere else to find another spot. Because they made good on their promise. And it wasn't even about the money. It was about community support, right? And back then, during those times, you had players, you had guys and girls, you know what I'm saying, that really cared about you and your well-being. You know what I mean? They really cared about you. And they gonna say when they see something in you, see some of them, they probably didn't have no chance like you had. They probably didn't have, they probably didn't come up like you came up. They probably didn't have that kind of support. They probably came from single parent homes as well. But it's not a bad thing when somebody tell you, hey, you don't need to be doing this. It's not a bad thing when somebody trying to save you. It's for your own good. Although you as a teenager, as young boys, as young men, we want to do what we want to do anyway. You know what I mean? Now we down at the juvenile detention center. Back in the day, you know what I mean? All they gonna do is send you to the tent. You get you a drug charge. You know what I'm saying? You get caught with all the dope or get caught with all the drugs you want. You ain't gonna do nothing but 30 days in the detention center. We used to call it the tent. Thankfully, I've never been through anything like that. Going to the tent for drug paraphernalia or anything like that, because God had His hands on me. You see what I'm saying? And I used to keep it. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking about in large sums. I used to keep it. I stayed strapped. But I've never been caught up on anything like that when I was a teenager. And you have some that they don't want to go, but hey, this is what I chose. If I end up there, I ain't gonna do nothing but 30 days. They changed that. I get caught with an onion. I get caught with a 28 or 56, a quarter. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. I get caught with a quarter bird or whatever. I ain't gonna. I ain't but 11 years old. I ain't but 12 years old. I ain't but 13 years old. I ain't gonna do but 30 days in a tent. You see what I'm saying? I get caught with a four-way. I ain't gonna do but 30 days in the tent because I'm a juvenile. They changed all of that. But back then, there was more communities support, right? Now, check it out. Cultural and social dynamics, right? Family structures and community support. Some cultures emphasize extended family networks that may lessen the impact of single parenthood. Marriage rates have declined more among Black and Hispanic communities influenced by economic instability and social factors. Government and policy influences. Welfare policies. Check this out. Some government assistance programs unintentionally discouraged marriage by reducing benefits for two-parent households. Now, there's some history on that. There's some history on that as well now, right? I'll come back with that. I'll come back with that one. Now, education and employment access. Differences in access to quality education and stable employment affect family stability across racial groups. Effects of single parent households. Economic struggles. Single parent households often face higher poverty rates, particularly in Black and Hispanic communities. Educational outcomes. Children from single parent households are statistically more likely to face academic challenges. So true. So true. The baby, poor child, can't even think straight because their mindset is still set on, where's my father? Where's my mother? You know what I mean? This isn't normal. This ain't normal. Most of my classmates have both of their parents. I'm still wondering, should I believe what my mom is telling me about my dad? I'm still wondering, If what my dad is telling me about my mom is true. She said that she didn't want me. Or just is this some random lie? What did I do to deserve this for them to not be around? So they in class facing academic challenges, right? Now, let's continue. Though many succeed with strong support systems, right? There we go again. Support systems, mental and emotional impact, parental stress, don't they? Raising a child or a family is very stressful. Financial, especially when you have what? Financial hardship and lack of resources can what? Affect children's well-being, right? And we're discussing abandonment issues. These are the statistics of where some of the core issues are coming from, right? Here we go. Different forms of abandonment, right? Now, here we go. Solutions and policy recommendations, support for fathers, encouraging father involvement regardless of marital status, economic empowerment, job training, education access, and higher wages for parents, community based programs, strengthening childcare, after school programs, and mentorship for children in single parent households, right? Now, criminal justice reform, right? Reducing incarceration rates, especially for nonviolent offenses, to prevent family separation. The boy already lost his mom. The girl already lost her dad, right? Now they about to leave them too. Now they about to leave their mom, about to leave their dad, and that's all they have, right? And this way, criminal justice reform, it'll prevent family separation, right? Okay. Now, if you would like a deeper focus on any specific aspect, such as policy solutions or historical influences, you can do more research or you can just ask me and I'll produce all the information that I have for you if you would like to inquire about these things, right? Now, we spoke about, well, I presented to you last week also the short story that I created for you as well, Whispers of Goodbye. So if you missed that, go to the previous video, part one, and you'll like it, concerning abandonment issues from the beginning of everything, Whispers of Goodbye, right? But the topic for tonight, every man she knew left her, but the baby they gave her stayed. Now, we're about to wrap this up, right? The mom is faced with abandonment issues. That's why she never seems to be fulfilled. She finds a good man, or the good man finds her, and she disregards that good man, never satisfied. She's much clingier or much clingier than she should be. And there's absolutely nothing with loving on your man, right? Or loving on your woman, right? But it's in an unhealthy way because you have such great trust issues. Sometimes they can't even trust themselves, especially when it comes to abandonment issues. Maybe they've been hurt in the past, or maybe they hurt themselves because every good person they've ever had after a nasty breakup, like I said, they disregard. Maybe someone they truly loved passed away. We spoke about that on a previous video or in the previous video, and they just can't seem to get over it, right? And they have, like I said, trust issues, and some fail to get the proper or the necessary counseling that they need. Maybe the previous person that they were with were narcissistic in a way that was unhealthy. And then maybe they are suffering from such abandonment issues that they have to all the time, they have to be in a relationship. They don't want to just date and try out the dating market. They don't want to try out the dating market. The first thing that they see that agrees to be with them, they want to settle down. They want to move them in, etc. And they are totally toxic, totally toxic. They'd rather be treated badly than to be alone, right? Because they suffer from abandonment issues. They'll make a good man, they'll make peers that are good to them, people that are good to them, they'll make them feel guilty about something that's personally going on within their lives and hold them accountable or hold them responsible for what they're experiencing when they themselves should take personal accountability for the current state of mind that they're in. They'll make you feel guilty. They'll make you feel that you're the one that should be responsible for what's transpired in their lives. And sometimes it's just a way of life generally for that particular person. It's almost like being in a sunken place and they don't know what to do. They don't know how to pursue, or they don't have a clear idea. They don't have a clear idea of what the first step should be to resolve what's going on in their lives or what they feel, rather it be a connection with a person or rather it be uh, friendship, rather it be family, etc. It's a depressing state, right? And always supplementing or substituting something, even if it's another person, even if it's their child, their very own child, to fill a void, which is why I'm getting into what I'm going to, going into now, right? As supplementation to fill a void. You wonder why she's taking all of these photos hugged up with her son. You're wondering why they're popping bottles and drinking Remy Martin and drinking the rosé and you know just living life at the clubs and hanging out and you know what I'm saying? Now, let's get into it, right? Right? Now, my question to you is, can a boy truly be king after his father has passed away or left? Can he truly be king? Think about what I'm telling you. Think about what I'm saying, right? It's a simple question, but is it? Can a man or can a boy truly be king after his father has left him or even passed or died, right? Now, the answer is yes, but is it? The answer morally is yes. Hmm? But is it? Now, yes, a boy can truly become a king without his father present. History and mythology are filled with examples of young rulers who ascended the throne without their fathers due to death, exile, or abdication. Now, historical examples. King Tut, he became pharaoh around the age of 9 after his father, Akhenaten, died, right? Despite his youth, he ruled with the help of mentorship, being what you would call advisors, and left a lasting mark on history. Every man she knew left her, but the baby they gave her stayed. Louis XIV of France, his father, Louis XIII, died when he was just 5 years old, making him king. Although Cardinal Mazarin initially governed as regent, Louis XIV later became one of the most powerful monarchs in history, right? King Henry the Sixth of England, he became king at just 9 months old after his father, Henry the Fifth, died. His reign was marked by political struggles, but his legitimacy as king was never questioned. Every man she ever knew left her, but the baby they gave her stayed, right? Mythological and literary themes. In The Lion King, Simba must reclaim his throne without his father. Mufasa, proving that leadership, proving that leadership is about what? Growth and responsibility, not just inheritance, right? Every man she ever knew left her, but the baby they gave her stayed. In Arthurian legends, King Arthur becomes the rightful ruler, despite not knowing his father, proving that destiny and character, rather than paternal presence, define what? A king. Every man she ever knew left her, but the baby they gave her stayed. Key factors in a king's success: guidance and mentorship. Strong mentors, being a father, number one, right? This is going to get, I'm telling you, man, being a father, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be a father. This is just an example that I'm using, right? Guidance and mentorship. Strong mentors, regents, advisors, or maternal figures often help young rulers transition into power, right? Personal strength and wisdom. The best kings, whether or not their fathers were present, prove themselves through what? Resilience and what? Decision making, right? Come on, man. Come on now. Come on, man. That's a big one. Come on now. Check this out. Another one. The legitimacy in support. Even a young or fatherless king needs the backing of what? Nobles, military leaders, or the people to maintain power. Come on, man. The what? Let me read that again for you. You ain't hear me. They didn't hear me. I don't think they heard me. I don't think you heard me. Even a young or fatherless king needs the backing of what? Nobles, military leaders, or what? This is the most important of them all. The people, the people, the people to what? Maintain power. The people, man, right? Now, these are my final thoughts about this because what? Every man she ever knew left her, but the baby they gave her stayed. A father's presence can offer guidance, but it is not the sole factor in determining a king's success. History has shown that a boy can become a true king through resilience, wisdom, and the ability to lead. whether or not his father is there to see, right? Ain't that something, right? So, with the help of the people or the help of mentorship and several others of positive influence and impact on a young man's life, right? And there's a process, right? There's a process. It's not about someone denying someone of an opportunity that already belongs to them, especially when they've gone through the stages of life, right? But as a single parent, as a single mother, she suffered from abandonment issues. A good man that she had a relationship with, a good bond that she had a relationship with, a good marriage in which she had an amazing husband, she now finds herself alone because she still has no mental clarity from the previous relationship or the previous marriage, right? And if she doesn't want to be kept, why would you stay? You can stay for the baby. Now, if an individual or if a man leaves never to return, never to return, never to raise his child, never to spend time with his child, I mean, just not supportive at all, that woman is now forced to fill a void that she could be having, right? Because she is a mother. She has to raise this child. And right now, she's being the mother, the father, and the friend because there's no distinction between the both. In some cases, she don't know if she want to be a father. She don't know if she want to be a mother. She don't know if she want to be a friend or a party animal or go out and party with the child. Be flicking it up on IG and IG stories and on Facebook and Snapchat. You know what I mean? The same relationship, the same responsibility that she was unsure, or the relationship that she was unsure she wanted with you, she is now building that relationship with that child when all he should be doing is being nothing more than a son. He shouldn't have to be now to a certain degree. Yeah, he should be emotionally supportive. That's his mom, right? But your son or her son shouldn't be a boyfriend or play the role of a boyfriend. You drinking with him, you smoking with him, you partying with him. You know what I mean? Okay, he's the man of the house. Yeah, he's the man of the house because the father's no longer there or no longer present. Yeah, he's the man of the house, but his child, but his responsibility is still to be a boy, to still have a childhood. He shouldn't be forced to be paying bills, but he need to be focusing on academics. Now, if he's working during the summer or he want to put a little extra money in his pocket, okay, that should be for him because he's learning or you're teaching him to be responsible, right? Now, if he feels the need to give you a portion of his earnings because you teaching him responsibility, that's fine. But he shouldn't have to be working to pay no bills, right? So now the man that got away, the one that got away, the one that she pushed out of the household, because she suffers from abandonment issues. And now she's really suffering from abandonment issues because the father or the man is no longer present. She's casting all of this responsibility on to this little boy, raising him to be a boyfriend and to be a son when she want him to be, and to be a friend when she want him to be. So she's personally elected him to be king. She's left to personally elect that boy to be king. It wasn't the people. It wasn't from mentorship. It wasn't from it wasn't from the people. It wasn't from mentorship or any of that, right? Because the help that she needs from the person she pushed away, she wants to get it from him now, from the child, stripping him, stripping him of his youth or his childhood because she suffers from abandonment issues. And what she needed left, but the baby stayed because not only is that his mother, right? That's her child. And he's only so young. He's only so old. He has to stay. Where else would he go? Where should he go if he not have his mother or a roof over his head? To granny's house, right? To live with auntie. So if he wanted to leave, he'd have to stay. Unless, of course, he decides to run away from home, right? And that very child, the same way you pushed a good man out of the house or pushed a good man away, a good example, a good leader, a great leader, the same way you pushed him out of your life, you pushed him out of the baby's life. You pushed him out of your son's life as well. Now, what does he do? Will it be the same cycle? Or will he have a change of heart? Or will he be a man or grow up? Or are you teaching him or raising him to be a man of good character that he wouldn't behave or that he wouldn't do the same thing that not his father, but what you did to him by his father not being present? Will he stay or will he too leave because of the example you set the stage? And chances are there's a great possibility that, you know, you weren't being completely truthful with your child, saying that he just left or just filling his head with all these lies and he not feeling that he's good enough because you suffer from abandonment issues. And it had absolutely nothing to do. This is to the women that I'm speaking now. This isn't to all women, but this is directed to the women that actually had a good thing going on in their life. They actually had a good man. They actually had someone to give them the proper instructions, the proper guidance, the leadership needed, you know what I mean? The support needed, the mental, the emotional support needed, because you still face abandonment issues from past traumas that has absolutely nothing to do with them or had nothing to do with them. And then there's other case scenarios that sometimes the man just sorry as hell. And that's why she faces abandonment issues. because he didn't want to be responsible. A responsible man, man, I'm gonna tell you something too, man. If a man, if a man don't raise his kids, it ain't nothing you could talk. I don't like you, straight up and down. I don't like you, man. If you have children that you don't take care of, man, it ain't nothing we can even talk about. I don't want to be your friend. How you gonna be there for me when you can't be there for your own darn kid, bruh? You can't tell me nothing. You can't talk to me about nothing. You can say whatever you want to say, rather it be about some externally superficial crap. Man, please. You can say whatever you want to say about me, but until you take care of them kids, boy, keep your mouth closed. Talking about a good friend. I don't want to be your friend. You don't take care of your damn kids. Period, bruh. Because you don't care about them. I know you don't care about me. If you don't take care of your own, how you gonna take care of me or anybody else? And it's not even coming from a needy position. I don't even want no advice from you. Period. Take your own advice. Now, if that's a choice, if you choose not to be there, if there's no stipulations or no restrictions, and you doing that, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But if there's a situation that doesn't allow you to be there, that's fine. But due to your own free will, you just say the hell with it. I don't respect you, man. And the world shouldn't respect you. You know what I mean? But the woman is suffering from abandonment issues. And for her to be, or for her to have a better mindset, it's going to take some counseling. It's going to have to take a sit down with her if you truly care about this woman, or if you are truly concerned, or if you would really like to have an intimate conversation with her, or really like to get, just out of concern. If you really want to build a stronger relationship with someone that is willing, she has to be willing, you know, if you really, really want something long term with this person, if you really desire to have a future with this person, that's what it's going to take. You know what I mean? Because it's totally unfair for a mother to make a son a boyfriend or a partying partner. You know what I mean? Etc. Drinking, smoking, cursing. You know what I mean? Potty mouth. You know, that ain't how you raise a boy. I understand that the father isn't present, but back to community support. There are so many different programs that communities, or that the community centers offer. Big brother programs, you know, just community programs, criminal justice programs, or criminal justice prevention programs to keep them out of trouble. As a woman, raising a boy or raising a son, it ain't easy. And it's especially if you're a single parent, don't let, don't allow your personal issues or past relationships, even with that boy's father, don't allow that to impact the outcome of his future. Okay, the baby father or your baby's father, or the father of your child, he don't want to be a man, right? Go to God. Go to God in prayer. Utilize the resources that you have so you can raise that man with the help of other people to stand in power as the man that his father never was. The man that you thought he never was. You can raise him to be much better than his father ever was or ever will be. But you must utilize your resources. And you got to get help as well. Stop running these good men away. You say, hey, I want a good man and I want this and I want that. You can have what you desire, but you have to fix yourself first. You can't look every time you're in a relationship, 30 days, it's over. 60 days, it's over. 90 days, it's over. Now you hook up or you link up with another guy. You moving him in. 60 days, it's over. 90 days, it's over. A week later, you go out, you party, you meet somebody. Now you done tired of you locked in with them. 6 months, that relationship over. And your son, he's broken because he watching you bring all these men in, to and from. He's broken. He's never seen his daddy ever in his life. You know what I'm saying? He's never seen his father. And you trying to find him one. But going about trying to find a dad for him that way, it just ain't gonna cut it. Because you suffer from abandonment issues. You've elected him to be the king that his father should have been to you, right? But as a prince, one day he will become king when he have men in his life with the mental and the physical fortitude to get him there. It's not your job to make him a man. You can't make him a man. You can raise him the best you know how, but you can't make him a man because he has nothing to feed off of other than your masculine energy because you are not a man. Just like the familiar saying or that I've heard, it takes a village to raise a child. Community, community support. And very soon, by working with him and other positive influence in the community or utilizing community resources, one day he will be king. One day he will be king because the community elected him. You don't have to elect him, but the community, the people elected him. You dig what I'm saying? So this is Awesome Will here. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and also share this content. I didn't want to be too long tonight, but I thought that it was a very interesting topic to go live and discuss because there's quite a bit of this going on as far as single parents, or parenthood, within the community. And as you can see, we have the highest statistics or the highest, you know, uh, rate or percentile of single mothers or single parents or single parent households in the country. And eventually, this can change if we change for the better. You know what I mean? For the better. This can change. If we make decisions much better, make our decisions much better, as into, who we have children by, you know, um, I guess that's why I held off for so long too, to avoid, any issues, or issues like this, because if I decide or if I desire to have children, whenever I should desire to have children, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be active in my child's life. And can't no woman, you know what I mean, of mine or that I've dated or that I was, fooling around with, you know, they can't keep me from my child because I'm not going to let them. And personally, I don't think that I'm that bad of a person that, you know, she would want to keep the children away from me. You know what I mean? But you got some, man, listen, not to talk about nobody or nothing like that, man, but man, you got some cruel people out here. And I just thank God, man. I just thank God that I don't have that issue. The baby mother drama and the baby mama drama, and I don't have that. That's too much going on. You know what I mean? That's too much going on. And you know, I that's why, like I said, I think I've held off for so long because that was a part of it too. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to select the wrong one. But even years after knowing somebody, man, you can then find out, or you can then find out, after years that they never were the right one. You thought they were, but both men and women are great actors, man. Great actors. You think that this person is for you, and you know, you discover that they aren't. They are the total opposite. You know what I'm saying? They broke form after year five. Now you really starting to see who this person is. Once you have children with them, you really starting to see who this person is. You know what I mean? After you marry this person, now you truly see who they are. After year five or year six, like wow, where did the person go that I met? What, that I first married? That's the person I want, or the person that I first dated, or the person that I first knew before bearing a child with you or having a baby with you. That's the person I want. That's the person I remember. You know, but man, like I said, people are great actors, man. People are great actors. But in conclusion, that was all that I had to say. And I hope that you've enjoyed. Every man that she ever knew left her, but the baby they gave her stayed. This is Awesome Will. Just as I was sliding by and decided I'd slide on in and drop another live on you, I am now about to slide on out and proceed about. You dig what I'm saying? Until next time, thanks for watching and enjoy.